Leo had two applications, one LMS app and support app. Now to save money, this new enrollment app also installed into the same server. This enrollment app is actually consuming all the RAM. This is isolation of the physical era. But the problem is managing these servers is actually very expensive. In this case, you can go with the virtual machine. So hypervisor is allowing us to create virtual machine. Yes, we got this solution in 2013. We call it container. Now, you want to use container technology. So in this case, you have to install Docker service called Docker daemon. There is no overhead of kernel, and because of this, we are saying that containers are lightweight. I know that you have lots of questions in your mind going on, but all your questions will be asked by Leo. Hello and welcome to CloudFolks HUB. My name is Bhavesh Atara. In the last video, I explained you everything about Docker containers. I hope you understood this as well. But our founder Leo having lots of questions related to this particular class. And whenever Leo having question, he is always asking these questions to Ray, and Ray is going to answer all these questions in this particular video. It is possible that whatever the question Leo having, you may have same question. So you may get answer of your questions as well from this session. So let's start. Here, when Leo informed Ray, they said that I will answer all your questions and with practical. So we are going to perform some lab as well, which will help you to understand the entire concept easily. Now, we are going to start with question number 1. The first question is it complex to create Docker host? This is first question of Leo. Before I am going to talk about answer, let's understand Docker host. As you know that we have virtual machine infrastructure. When we are going to talk about virtual machines, we have physical server. On the top of physical server, we are installing hypervisor, and then hypervisor allowing us to create virtual machines. In case of Docker, we can use a physical machine or virtual machine with operating system. This operating system can be Linux, Windows, or even Mac. Now, if you want to create container, you have to download Docker daemon or Docker service as an application and install it into your computer. Now, once you install Docker daemon, your computer will be considered as a Docker host, and Docker daemon allow you to create containers using Docker CLI. So, what I can say that this machine is right now Docker host. And Leo's question is that is it complex to create Docker host? The answer is no. It is very simple. You can download Docker daemon and install it in your computer very easily. Now, to practically explain you this, right now I have one Amazon EC2 instance. It is free instance T2 micro. I have access of this EC2 instance as well, which is SSH access. Now, this is normal Amazon Linux. I am going to convert this into the Docker host by installing Docker daemon. First of all, I am going to log in as a root, sudo -i. Now I am logged in as a root. Now, in order to install Docker, you just need to use usual command yum install Docker. There are two ways to install this. One, you can directly install this from the Amazon repository, or if you want latest version, you can download binaries from the Docker website and then you can install this as well. Right now, for just explanation, I am using Amazon repository. Here you may get little older version, but it is very simple to install. Now, I just installed Docker's daemon over here, and I can say that now my EC2 instance has been converted to the Docker host. So installing Docker is very easy. You can convert any computer into the Docker host very easily. Okay. So right now it is installing. It may take 2 to 3 minutes. We are already in the last step, but let's move to the next question. Do container use ISO image like virtual machine? Okay, let me explain you this question first and then we will talk about answer. See here, let's say that if I want to create virtual machine, after creating virtual machine, we have to install operating system. And to install operating system, we have to download ISO image. In terms of virtual machine, ISO image will be same. Whatever we have in physical machine, we are just going to use same ISO image for the virtual machine as well. For example, if I want to use Ubuntu machine, I can go to Google. I can say that download Ubuntu. Here I got Ubuntu official website, and from here I can download Ubuntu ISO image and I can install this into my system, right? Now, if I want to create Ubuntu container, can I use same image? This is question. Now answer is no. When we are going to talk about virtual machines operating system, it is a full-fledged operating system with kernel and application layer both. When we are going to talk about container having only application layer, it is going to use kernel from the main base operating system. So here we have different images that we have to use. Now let's say that I want to create Ubuntu container. How I can find out this image? That I will explain you as well. So what you can do, you can go to the hub.docker.com, right? And here you just need to type whatever the operating system or image you want. Let's say that I want Ubuntu. I'm just going to type this and here I got Ubuntu official image, right? So whatever the image you want for that particular respective operating system, you can directly download from Docker Hub. Now here I just want to tell you that this image is very small in the size, maybe 80 MB. If I am going to talk about virtual machine ISO image, it is big in the size. Look at this, it is 5.9 GB. If I am going to talk about Ubuntu Docker image, it is just 80 GB in size. And now you know that why it is very small, because here we are not going to get kernel. We are getting kernel from the host operating system. So that's why it is too small in the size, right? Now let's talk about the third question, from where we can download image for the container. I already explained you can go to the hub.docker.com, type whatever the image you want, then you are going to get it. Here you will get lots of, look at this, I have one image for the Nginx web service, right? So you just need to type this name, okay, and you are going to get Nginx official image as well. So whatever the Linux versions are available, you can download this from the Docker Hub. Now, if I create container from image, how much time it will take? You know, when we are going to create virtual machine, it is going to take 5 to 10 minutes because we are installing full-fledged operating system inside the container. But when we are going to create full-fledged operating system inside the virtual machine, but when we are going to create container, it is just going to take 1 second. Do you believe this? It is just going to take 1 second. Let me give you a demo. First of all, I have this machine. Okay, in this I already installed Docker. Let me start Docker. Okay, so systemctl start Docker. Now Docker started. Once you start Docker, you can give command docker -- version. Now you can run all the Docker commands using Docker CLI. So now I am giving command using Docker CLI. First of all, I want to create Ubuntu container, for example, right? So I have to have Docker image. How I can find it out, this image? Going to the Docker Hub, just going to find out Ubuntu. Right here I have Ubuntu official image, and look at this, this is a command I have, docker pull Ubuntu. I am just going to copy this command and pasting over here. Let's enter. Now I downloaded Ubuntu image, even though it is not required because it is going to download image automatically when you create container, but for easiness I just downloaded this, right? Now I can find out this by giving command docker images. See here I have one image of Ubuntu in my system. Right. Now, I have this image. From this image, I am going to create container, and it is going to take 1 second. Now, this is a command which is used to create container. Okay, Docker run dash interactive container I want to create. Container name will be C1. I want to create this container from the Ubuntu, which I already downloaded, and I want to provide bean bash, means I want bean bash shell for this particular container. Now, here I want to request you guys that do not try to remember commands, okay? Because we are not going to use this command during our ECS training. Here I am just showing you all these commands, so you will get complete understanding about the container, right? So I want to clear confusions if you have some. So that's why I am using this. Otherwise, we are not going to use this command for our ECS training. So do not try to remember this command. Now let's use this. Docker run it dash this name C1 Ubuntu bean/bash. Look at this prompt. Right now this is prompt of my virtual machine. Means EC2 instance. Let me press enter. Prompt has been changed. Look at this, because right now my container has been created and I am inside this container, right? So if you are going to create container, it is going to take just 1 second, right? If you are going to create virtual machine, it may take 5 to 10 minutes, depends on the computer's configuration. Now, if I am going to type exit command, I will come out from the container, but it is going to stop the container, right? So if you want to come out by running the container, you have to use Control P Q. Okay. So now I am back to my Docker host. So creating container will not take time. Now question number 5. Can I start, stop and restart container like VM? Of course. First of all, let me give you some commands here. See, first of all, I am going to give command like docker ps. When you give this command docker ps, you can verify how many containers are running. It is going to provide you list of running containers, right? If you have power off container and power on container, and if you want to see the list of all, you can use command docker ps-a. So it is going to show you all. But right now I have only one container which is in running state. So both commands are giving same output. Now, if I want to stop this container, I can use the command docker stop and the container name. Now this container is actually running. How I can find out? Look at the status. Up about a minute ago, right? So it is right now in the running state. So I am going to give command like docker stop C1. Now my container will be in the stop state. Once your container will be in stop state, you can give command docker ps-a and you can verify that your container is in stop state. When your container is in stop state, you cannot attach to your container. Let's use this command. See docker-a. Here I am getting exited, means my container is in stop state. Now I want to go inside the container. How? First of all, I have to start this container, right? Docker start C1. Container started. Now docker attach C1. I am inside the container. Simple process. Next question. How can I create custom image that include my application? Right? Now this is most important question, and I want to answer these questions using two ways. First, see, I created my container, right? Why I created my container?
Sorry to interrupt you. I know you guys are enjoying our video a lot, because our final ultimate goal is Solution Architect Certification exam. To reach the destination, we required full videos. Path number 1, our 6-in-1 program. Our 6-in-1 program include all prerequisite skills which is needed as a cloud engineer. It include 24/7 support, lifetime update, section-wise practice test, full course practice test with tips and tricks by Bhavesh Atara, how to do exam preparation course, weekly lifetime live session with Bhavesh Atara, and 6 AWS project with documents. Path number 2, you can enroll by paying 499 and get Hindi and English, both the languages, videos of AWS. The choice is yours, how to create your success story by choosing best one. Best of luck. Thank you.